Hi, Melanie here from the Customer Experience team at Batchbook. I'm here to chat with you just a little bit about our new integration with Xero, which we are really excited about. Xero is a simple and powerful accounting program that enables you to know at a glance where you stand with your customers and invoices. At Batchbook, we aim to provide you with a backstory to those numbers in hopes that they'll keep growing and getting stronger. So let's take a quick tour of how the integration works. First, of course, we'll need a quick visit to this Integrations tab to get started. You'll click on the blue Connect to Xero button and then either sign into Xero or be signed in another browser. I'll tell Batchbook which organization to access and finish by pressing the green Authorize button, and I'm on my way. So let's say that I'm a creator of some fun and really funky baby clothing, and I sell to local boutiques, and I'm trying to grow. So my goal here is to learn a little bit more about my existing customers and vendors, who they are, what they need, and above all, making sure that as few as possible fall through the cracks. So first, of course, I need to pull in all of my contacts from Xero. So we'll head to the import screen here. Over here, I'm going to choose to select Xero as my source of import, and I can choose which contacts to import. For example, I can limit that to just my customers, or just my suppliers, or go ahead and keep them all. I'll decide over here how I want to handle any duplicates if I've imported from other locations. And if I would like to add a tag to all the imported contacts upon import, I'll enter that here. But as a note, Batchbook is automatically going to tag all these folks with a tag of Xero on the back end for me, so I don't need to replicate that tag here. Once it's done, I press the preview button. Now you'll be walked through some field mapping that will allow you to match all that Xero data that you can pull in to fields in Batchbook. Most of the information is already here in Batchbook, but if you're looking to import some of the specialized fields like tax info or something like that, you'll want to first create custom fields to hold that information. Custom fields are where you will hold any custom information that you would like to create in your account. You can find more about custom fields in our knowledge base and on some other screencasts. There's also a separate import screencast that will cover this step in more detail, so I'll leave it off here and you can check that out if you need any additional help. So now that my contacts have been imported, let's pop on over to my Contacts tab to see all those new Xero contacts. I'll use the filter here on the left to drill down to just the folks tagged with Xero. Awesome! So here's one of my customers, Amber's Attic. Now I'll click the More button here to link over and get a bigger picture of Amber's Attic and all their contact information. I have a handy Xero widget that gives me an insight into Amber and her current account status. But when I partner that invoice information with custom data here in Batchbook, I get a greater understanding of our relationship. As a designer of baby and kids clothing, I'm really interested in the ages and gender and materials that her store is interested in and that they tend to carry. So after I've created a custom field, as we mentioned previously, I can quickly enter that information here on the go as I learn more about Amber and her business. Now maybe I'm also using custom fields to track a little bit about how we know each other, what region she's located in, any type of information I really want to gather I can put here in these custom fields. So there's some other information on the main contact page that I can track. I can, for example, track attached files, so if there's logos or drafts perhaps, I can put them here. Comments from my own team about Amber's Attic so that we can share thoughts quickly. To-dos, affiliations, like a sister store that she might be affiliated with, any social media information, any personnel, any communications I've had with that store. All of that information is in one tidy place here on their contact detail page. So let's take just a second and look a little bit closer at the Xero widget here on the contact detail page. In this case, since the contact is a client, I'll see the most recent open pending invoices on the Xero widget. I can see the amount due, and if I click on the name of the invoice, I'll be sent straight over to Xero to view it in greater detail. And this is really a pending total due each time I log in. So if a partial payment has been made on an invoice, only that new partial amount due will be noted here. It'll continue to count down until paid in full. So once the invoice is paid in full, it will no longer display on the widget. So no invoices listed here means I have no outstanding payments from this client. And bills on the supplier contact records work the same way. Here I have one from ABC Furniture, from whom I purchased a new desk. Their record shows that we owe them a little over $1,000, and this is also reflected in Xero. And bills work the same way. If I click the link here, make a partial payment, only that partial amount due will be returned back in Batchbook. Now we're getting to one of my favorite things. What I love is that from any of these detail pages, I can also click on the To-Do button for an invoice in the widget to help me with follow-up. By default, when I click it, I'll see when the invoice was created and when it was due. It'll be attached to the contact that I'm viewing, and by default it'll be assigned to me, but I can change this if I need another person to follow up with them. I can add additional details as needed, and once created, the to-do is automatically going to be tagged with Xero. But this is done automatically in the background for me, one less step I need to worry about. So we've been seeing it all pretty much from the contact level so far, so let's head on over to the dashboard to check out the Xero widget. Now we're able to look at a little bit bigger picture. And I'm going to go ahead and drag this widget up to the top so that I'm not always scrolling down to find it. It's important information to me, so I want it right up here. We've got 3 really useful links included here from the start. The first is a link to my To-Do tab, and it's specifically any active to-dos related to contacts from Xero. So these are all those to-dos that I've created by using the Xero widget in that little to-do button I showed you a few moments ago. Or anytime I'm creating a to-do manually, not from that widget, if I add the tag of Xero, it'll automatically be pulled into this filter. So now I know in a click what the outstanding to-dos for my Xero contacts are, and I can start working down that list as soon as I get on to make sure that my invoices and my bills are followed up on in a pretty timely manner. So now back to the dashboard. And next, I see 2 lists that have been automatically created for me by Batchbook. So the first link is to view my list of Xero contacts that are marked as champions. Now you can use champions however you want for you and your business, but for me, my champions on Batchbook are the folks that I've decided are really my biggest cheerleaders. These are the folks helping make my product and my business, or maybe even just myself, a little bit better, and therefore deserve a little extra time and attention. So I can mark a contact as a champion either here with a star or using batch actions. And now all of those folks who are marked as champions and were brought in through Xero will be on this list. And the best thing is that these lists are dynamic, so each time the contacts are added or removed as a champion, this list is automatically updated without me having to do a thing. So the second list from the dashboard is set to view my Xero contacts that I haven't communicated with in the past 30 days. This one is huge for me. If I'm tracking my communications in Batchbook, I can quickly see which folks have been a paid customer at some point, but yet I haven't communicated with them in the last 30 days, and I can find the best way to follow up and re-engage with them to stay involved. These dates are all quickly editable as well, so if 30 days isn't the right number, it can be changed quickly. The key to this, of course, is tracking communications with Batchbook, and we have a great screencast about how to save emails in Batchbook, so be sure to check it out. And these are really just the starter list automatically created for me. Any list that I create on my own in Batchbook and tag Xero will show up here on this widget as well. I can also always grab them anytime easily from the List tab by using those filters again. So that's about it. And just a little recap, I can pull my contacts in from Xero, I can start gathering some more specific information and storing it in custom fields, which are way more reliable and easily shared than sticky notes or Excel spreadsheets. I'm using to-dos to make sure we're following up as needed, and using search and lists to build a comprehensive list of folks who need my attention or to whom I just need to reach out to. and I have a handy-dandy dashboard widget to help me get started each time I log in. So now, by using Xero and Batchbook together, I know not only how a contact affects my bottom line, but how they affect the heart of my business. I know we've really covered a ton today, but I hope you'll check out all the other resources we have by clicking the support button here up at the top and checking out all the other screencasts and knowledge base articles we have for more details. And please don't ever hesitate to click here to email us at help@batchblue.com for more details on how Batchbook can help you get headed in the right direction.